So I saw an ad for 1973 econoline, and these are the photos listed in the ad. It was about 30 seconds after opening the ad, I decided this van needed to come home with me, and so it did. It has a 302, a C4 transmission, and a 9-inch rear end, and this is a little bit of its story. So this being my newest beast, give you a quick walk around. I'm going to try to see if I can fire it up today. Has a camper interior. Most of it's still there, but it's pretty rough. Has various spots that are rusted, but the frame underneath, the unibody underneath, is actually really pretty solid. I used the leaf blower just now and blew out most of the rat poop, but got a 302 in it. It's got a C4, I believe, behind it, and a 9-inch Ford rear end. So power steering, power brakes, and AC. As you can see, they have built a home here. So we're gonna just take the home out, remove some of the crusties, and we'll see if we can get this thing fired up. I'll disconnect the fuel line so we aren't pulling in old gas and go from there. Okay, so I threw the doghouse a little further in back. Clean this up just a little bit. I'm gonna just put a little gas on the carb here. A little go juice. Don't try this at home. Key is not functional. I did just replace it, but I've got nothing. Oh, I've got headlights. So if I've got headlights, I've got power. I just put a new key in, or a new ignition cylinder in, so it could be my wiring. It could be the mouse nest. Could be the start wire to the coil, but I got that in on. I hooked up cables here. I've got just a jumper, that's what I'm using. Cheating here because I have really crummy jumper cables here. So we just ran a wire to the coil, or I'm sorry, to the solenoid. I've got the battery hooked up, and we're gonna see what we get. Hey. That sounds good. Need to get fuel running too. Crank it over just a little bit so that it can get the oil up. It won't run because I have the fuel line disconnected. So there's no garbage going in it. But we'll throw a little more gas in, and I'm not getting any fuel out of the fuel line either. So throw a little more gas in, fire it up again, and see what she sounds like. Two-barrel carb, of course. Not much of a powerhouse, but plenty for what I need. Overall, that sounds pretty good. Just trying to get oil up to everything. That's pretty good. Okay, so as you remember, I was working on this guy. For you, it's been no time at all. For me, it's been about a week. So just starter to, or solenoid to battery, and I just have 2 jumper cable ends for my ignition. So not hot wiring it. I have a key shuts on and off the ignition, but it does not power on and off the starter, so it doesn't fire the cylinder. So what we're gonna do is just put the key in, turn it to the on position so I have an off, and then I'll touch my wires together to make my solenoid jump so the starter cranks. So I've got a hot and a cold here. Well, a hot and to a hot ultimately. So when I touch these together, then it cranks. And for a fuel pump, what we did was we ran a filter and stole a piece of fuel line off a lawnmower, and then I got a low pressure pump to a lawnmower gas tank because the fuel tank has holes in it, and I haven't decided if I'm gonna weld them up or what I'm gonna do, but I need to move this off the trailer, get ready for other things. So I just want to get it running and driving under its own power. I also need to fix the front tire. Probably gonna have to change that out, maybe on the trailer. We'll see where I end up doing that, but we'll be back in a little bit when I get some gas in it and get ready to fire it. Again, don't try this at home. Okay, so my phone shut off due to it being too hot out here. Got a low pressure fuel pump to a gas tank I scavenged off a mower, bunch of fuel line from a rider. Just used what I had, a fuel filter, just to make sure we're not pumping any junk in. And then these test leads from Harbor Freight, about 30 bucks. They're retractable, which is really great. I have my own sets that I've made, but just to be able to pick it up is great. Let's see if I can record it all here. Because I'm grounded to the body, I can just short my fuel pump to anywhere on the body, and it runs a fuel pump. So it's just a low pressure fuel pump. Shouldn't overpower the carburetor, but the carburetor's worn out and dry and everything else. So as you can see here, we'll start overflowing the carburetor pretty quickly. But we've got fresh fuel to the carb this way, and I can run the fuel pump as needed to keep it going. Of course, don't try this at home running sparks because of how I'm running all my wires and cables with fuel. Obviously not encouraged, but let's see what we can do. We can get her going off of her own carb and keep her going. That'd be great. So got to turn my key on. Nothing here because there's not wired, and crank it over. Okay. Probably just a little flooded due to the fact I was running that fuel pump. So now, okay, so key on. I already backed it off the trailer, so sorry you missed out on that part. I ran out of fuel, and I wanted to include you guys, so we refilled the gas tank and just grounding out to the transmission housing to fill us back up with fuel. Once the carburetor gets full, we'll overfill here, but we don't really need to. Probably there's good enough. And then easy start there, and because I'm bypassing, I can actually start in gear like I just did. So it's too loud with the vacuum of the carburetor to really hear what I'm saying here, but basically because the power is constant to the low pressure fuel pump, I'm able to just connect the ground anywhere on the frame and continue to fill up that fuel filter. So that's what I'm doing here, just trying to make sure it stays full enough to run, but not overfill the carb and run out gas onto the warm engine here. Not something you should try at home for sure, but worked for this purpose here. But we've got fuel, we got everything going, we're moving. And I got a spark made for this already. AC doesn't work because the belt's not hooked up. Power steering probably doesn't work, probably because it's the same belt. Might be working and I just don't notice. And go ahead and slide her into reverse. We're moving backwards, until we start spinning the wheel. And not the best turning radius, so we'll make another go at it here. Yeehaw! Try to give us a little more fuel here. Make sure we fill her back up so we don't die in the middle of our climb. But I did fill the radiator up. Up a bit of a hill here, and it's probably got a little bit of lumber in the way too. See if I can use the rear view mirror to make a run for it. Next numerous other projects I don't want to show off, or people will think they should tell me which project I should do first. Well, I'm spinning. Either that or I'm hitting lumber, but I think I'm just spinning on the green grass. Yep, sliding there. That's okay. We can make a faster run at it. I smell age-old mouse turds being burned off. Okay. Down here on the flat level, pop it in reverse, give myself some more fuel, and I have no brakes. Yeehaw! Or I'm squeezing up a wheel and dragging. It made it up. I think that front wheel's dragging a bit. I'm not straight. I might try to straighten it out. Actually, I think I will. Just because I can. And as long as I'm here, might as well try to get it parked while I'm moving it. I love this door handle. As you lift up on it, it sucks the back end. I'll show you one more time. So that's what it looks like when it closes. And then I can show it from here. You grab this, and as you pull it up, it sucks that back end in. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will post more updates hopefully as I get back to this project. For now, it's parked until I get a couple other projects out of the way, and hopefully can get to this in September. So enjoy and stay safe.